Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today, we'll go over the daily technical analysis update of uranium. I'll give you my financial opinion, just kind of scrolling and looking at some of the tickers there on the side. Looks like we're kind of getting a mixed match day where some are up, some are down. But we'll take a look. I'll give you my opinion. And here we go. So here's the, looking at the current contract on a monthly basis, it looks absolutely fantastic. It's finishing quite strong if we can finish up there. Looking on the weekly candlesticks, we are continuing to move higher. We're at 63.65. It was up 20 cents. Still looking fantastic. Looking at the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, we got a little bloody nose. Bloody noses are usually positive. Get a little bloody nose there, at least on the weekly. Could we move back a little bit? Yeah, we could. Again, I wouldn't. That doesn't scare me. We're above the support line. Say it again. We are above the support line. What that does is it provides support, and you buy off the support level. So if this does have a little backtest move, I would be buying that support backtest move. Uranium, another one that looks very good. We've broken out of this resistance line. We've broken out of this pattern here, and we're getting a little bit of a down day. A couple down days here. Still looks good. The down days are small. They're contained. I don't see the sellers in here ripping it lower. So still looks good to me. Camco, again, up 1% today. Momentum's coming a little bit down lower. We do have a little bit of selling pressure up here. We do have some resistance coming up there. But again, we're at 52-week highs. This is our leader. It's still trying to make its way higher. So we'll see what happens over the next week. Still looks good to me. I don't see any problems here. Bannerman still sitting out on top of its breakout here, still looking good. Goviak's another one that's still looking okay. It's broken out of this pattern, it's just creeping higher. Global Atomic moving sideways. Again, it's just moving sideways in this large pattern. It's creating this big pattern. We could come back and test $3. If we do, great buying opportunity. If it does that, we could rip higher here though. So I've got no forecast there. Forces Metals, again, still moving sideways within this gigantic pattern. Pure Point Uranium moving sideways in its big old pattern. And again, don't worry, guys. The market conditions are good. They will eventually break these patterns and run like cheetahs can. Deep Yellow is broken out of its pattern to the upside. This thing's looking quite good. You're probably going to see a little bit of a sell-off because every time we get up here, it likes to sell off. Sold off here, sold off here. And we're up there, and we're going to see where this, maybe we come back down here before we rip again. Tough to say, but still looking good. Higher highs and higher lows. Paladin Energy doing a little bit of a retest move back to this trend line. Still looking good. Sky Harbor, another one that's just getting a little normal sell-off day today. Nothing to worry about. Another regular sell-off day in Alaska. Nothing to worry about. We're still on top of this support line. Next Gen Energy, another one that is trying to make some new, this is all-time highs here. We're getting up there, but you can see a little bit of selling pressure. The buyers are still there, though. They're still there. That's why we got wicks on the bottom and there's wicks at the top. The buyers and sellers are dueling it out against each other. Baseload Energy, little small update today. We're right at that resistance line going across. You can see that red day trying to break above it, but couldn't. Fission 3.0, small down day today. Down 2.85, momentum still heading higher, still looks good and where it's positioned above support of the trend line. We've got Fission, it's on its resistance line. Maybe we can finally break to the upside here. Looks good. I like this inverted. This is an inverted shoulder that will probably break to the upside, get us towards the top of that limit there. Kazatomprom's looking quite strong here. Nice, good bullish engulfing, probably going to head higher. This is one of the leaders, so it looks good. Peninsula Energy, and one that's just hanging out above its little pattern here on top of this other pattern, a pattern within a pattern, a pattern on top of a pattern that we've broken. Boss Energy, ooh, this is lining up for a move higher, guys. That might be one to be looking at. Boss Energy, bullish engulfing right at resistance. This will probably break and get a little bit of a run going. That one looks interesting. International Consolidated Uranium still looks good. Small down days with the big, large body candlestick next to it. Those are usually resolve itself upward. So that looks good. Lotus Resources, it's resting. The cheetah's resting on top of the pattern. I always like to buy where they're resting on top of patterns because they're usually about to run. UROY's looking okay. We're at the bottom kind of side of this pattern, support underneath it. Still looks good. Encore Energy starting to break out from this pattern here. Oh, it's not going anywhere. Well, it's starting to go. I mean, we went from $1.24 to $1.45 pretty quick, and they'll probably continue. UUUU right at this ping-ponging back and forth between the resistance trend line and the support line. Oops. URG moving sideways between its two, support resistance. It's right up above the resistance support line. UEC, it's coming up against resistance. We'll see where this thing goes, guys. We could get some breaks here, and these could be the leaders. Our leaders are starting they're trying to break. CCJ, UEC, UUUU. They're all starting to move here. LEU's right on support. LTBR, another one that's just moving sideways, but it's already broken out. I do like this in these types of setups. ISENF, another one that's broken out on top of its pattern. We could get a return move before bouncing higher, but that looks good. Appy Energy just moving sideways in this consolidation type pattern. Here's your stick, and we'll eventually break to the upside, I think. Still looks good. It's just consolidating on a small little area. Denison Mines looks absolutely fantastic. Big up day with the small little pullback. I always like seeing that. I think we're going to go higher. Looks good. Blue Sky Uranium just moving sideways. Forum Energy Metals, yeah, getting a little bit of a dip. Could I have drawn this poorly? Well, let's redraw it here. And let's do an actual line here. So if I take the bottom of this guy and we kind of go like this, you can draw this, somewhere in that range, and we're still in this pattern. So don't be afraid. We got a little wick at the bottom saying there's some buyers there. It still looks good. AEC moving sideways. Laramide is still on top of two patterns. We've got this pattern here that it's broken. So this is on top of the pattern, and then we're on top of that pattern. Yeah, I could pull back here and then maybe perhaps move higher, but it still looks good. It's on top of patterns with a bunch of resistance underneath it. This is underneath the pattern, Western Uranium, Vanadium, and it's still coiling up to go somewhere. This could break to the downside, guys. The reason I say that, we've got these two reversal candlesticks here, and then the small buying. There's a little bit of pressure here, but we'll see. The rest of the uranium sector is moving up. I would think this would move up. It is on top of this pattern here, but yeah, we'll see which way it goes. I just don't like these two strong sell-off days there. UEXCF, another one that's still coiling up inside of its pattern. We've got Mega Uranium that's on top of its pattern, still looks fantastic. Standard Uranium getting a little bit more selling pressure. If you got, maybe this is kind of that the booty bottom here that it's putting in for Standard Uranium. ALXCF, another one that's below its resistance line. It's still slowly leaking, coming up a little bit. Azincourt is coming up, and it's still squeezing up. It's trying to break through here. Once we break, we'll see where we go. Could be a big move. We're on top of this pattern here, so everything looks good for Valor Metals. Elevate, still, getting a little bit of selling pressure. Still looks good, though. Still looks good. Big up days, smaller down days. That pattern still persists, and 92E looks really good for a move higher. Still, we got small selling pressure. The selling pressure today was bought back up. There's buyers there. I can see it in the chart. So that's what I've got for today, guys, in the uranium sector, kind of blowing through these things. Uranium looks good. It looks good. It's sitting on top of patterns. Again, that's where I like to buy. What I feel like we're doing is we're just waiting for the break. We're waiting for buyers to show up. We're sitting right below the resistance levels on UUUU, UEC, CCJ's right underneath it. These are the big boys. These are the bigger companies. They usually move first. So when they move, you could kind of divert your efforts to the juniors because they might not move yet. They may be stuck in their pattern still. That's kind of what I'm doing. So, I'm looking at the juniors saying, I'll buy a little bit here, buy a little bit there, kind of cost average in and get a little bit more. And I'm spreading the wealth out, spreading it all out, buying a little bit of each. And that's how I'm playing this. I'm getting a little bit of uranium, getting a little bit of the gold and silver companies, getting a little bit of the natural gas companies. Again, I like to spread out, and I don't buy any of one thing. But uranium, it's looking fantastic. It's just a matter of time. That's my opinion. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the website if you guys want. Platinum membership, got a lot of information on there. Lots of uranium stuff, lots of uranium charts and things that I would be buying and what I'm personally doing. So that's what I've got on there, guys. We'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.